A spaniel is a type of gun dog. Spaniels were especially bred to flush game out of dens of brush. By the late 17th century, spaniels had been specialized into water and land breeds. The extinct English Water Spaniel was used to retrieve waterfowl shot down with arrows. Land spaniels were setting spaniels, those that crept forward and pointed their game, allowing hunters to ensnare them with nets. And springing spaniels, those that sprang pheasants and partridges for hunting with falcons, and rabbits for hunting with greyhounds. During the 17th century, the role of the spaniel dramatically changed as Englishmen began hunting with flintlocks for wing shooting. Charles Goodall and Julia Gayser write that spaniels were transformed from untrained wild beaters to smooth, polished gun dogs. The word spaniel would seem to be derived from the medieval French espagnol, Spanish, modern French, espagnol. Definition and description. The Oxford English Dictionary defines spaniel as a breed of dog with a long silky coat and drooping ears. Not much has changed about spaniels in general over the years, as can be seen in this 1921 entry in Collier's New Encyclopedia. The distinguishing characteristics are rather broad muzzle, remarkably long and full ears, hair plentiful and beautifully waved, particularly that of the ears, tail, and hinder parts of the thighs and legs. The prevailing color is liver and white, sometimes red and white or black and white, and sometimes deep brown, or black on the face and breast, with a tan spot over each eye. The English Spaniel is a superior and very pure breed. The King Charles is a small variety of the Spaniel used as a lapdog. The Water Spaniels, large and small, differ from the common Spaniel only in the roughness of the coats, and in uniting the aquatic propensities of the Newfoundland dog with the fine hunting qualities of their own race. Spaniels possess a great share of intelligence, affection, and obedience, which qualities, combined with much beauty, make them highly prized as companions. History. The origin of the word spaniel is described by the Oxford English Dictionary as coming from the Old French word espagnol, which meant Spanish. This in turn originated from the Latin Hispaniolis, which simply means Spanish. In Edward II, Duke of York's work The Master of Game, which was mostly a 15th century translation of an earlier work by Gaston III of Foy-Bearn entitled Livre de Chasse, spaniels are described as being as much from Spain as you could consider all greyhounds to be from England or Scotland. 16th century English physician John Keyes read that the spaniels of the time were mostly white marked with spots that are commonly red. He described a new variety to have come out of France, which were speckled all over with white and black, which mingled colors inclined to a marble blue. Celtic origin theory. In the added appendices added to the 1909 reprint of Keyes' work, the editors suggested that the type of dogs may have been brought into the British Isles as early as 900 BC by a branch of the Celts moving from Spain into Cornwall and on into Wales, England and Ireland. Theories on the origin of the Welsh Springer Spaniel support this theory, as it is believed that the breed specifically is a direct descendant of the Agassian hunting dog, described in the hunting poem Synergetica, attributed to Owain of Apamea, which belonged to the Celtic tribes of Roman-occupied Britain. There is a strong breed of hunting dog, small in size but no less worthy of great praise. These the wild tribes of Britons with the tattooed backs rear and call by the name of Agassian. The size is like that of worthless and greedy domestic table dogs, squat, emaciated, shaggy, dull of eye, but endowed with feet armed with powerful claws and a mouth sharp with close-set venomous, tearing teeth. It is by virtue of its nose, however, that the Agassian is most exalted, and for tracking it is the best there is, for it is very adept at discovering the tracks of things that walk upon the ground, and skilled too at marking the airborne scent. Roman origin theory. Another theory of the origin of the Spaniel is that the ancient Romans imported the Spaniel into Britannia by way of the trade routes to the Far East. Colonel David Hancock adds a belief that the sporting type of Spaniel originated in China from the short-faced ancestors of dogs such as the Pekingese, Pug and Shih Tzu. The theory goes that these ancestors were introduced into southern Europe and evolved into the small sporting Spaniels of the period around 1300 to 1600 AD. The issue of how a short-muzzled dog could evolve into a longer-muzzled dog is addressed by pointing to the evolution of the King Charles Spaniel into the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel in less than a century. Arabic origin theory. The first French Spaniel is speculated to have originated in the Middle East towards the end of the 11th century. French knights in the Holy Land were accompanied by the pointers and other hunting hounds. Breeding between these dogs and the Arabic greyhounds was considered inevitable, and the progeny became the first French Spaniels. Hunting. In assisting hunters, it is desirable that Spaniels work within gun range, are steady to shot, are able to mark the fall and retrieve shot game to hand with a soft mouth. A good nose is highly valued, as it is in most gun dog breeds. They are versatile hunters, traditionally being used for upland game birds, but are equally adept at hunting rabbit and waterfowl. Whether hunting in open fields, woodlands, farmlands, in briars, along fence zeros or marshlands, a spaniel can get the job done. On the basis of function and hunting style, the Fédération Cynologique Internationale draws a distinction between continental and Anglo-American Spaniels. FCI places continental dogs of the Spaniel type in the pointing group because they function more like setters which freeze and point a game. Breeds in this group include the Blue Picardy Spaniel, the French Spaniel, the Brittany, the Pontour de Mer Spaniel, and the small Munsterlander. FCI classifies most other dogs of the Spaniel type as Flushing or water dogs. Breeds. Contemporary extinct misnamed. The following breeds are not true Spaniels, but are named as such due to the resemblance to the Spaniels.